And I think it's a really pertinent time to discuss this because, as you said, it's been top of people's minds for quite some time now. But we're currently actually at a really significant inflection point in terms of the EU regulation of digital markets. So after years of kind of policy forming, the European Commission is now switching to enforcement mode with the legislation in place. Um, and so the DMA and the DSA were enacted by the Commission under one regulatory package. So that's why they're often talked about together. That's the Digital Services Act package. But they're actually separate and independent laws. And I think while there's a lot of commonality between them, as both of them aim to regulate digital markets and specifically online services and platforms, their scope is different. And that's because the DMA focuses on fostering competition in digital markets, focusing on those platforms or gatekeepers. Whereas the DSA is all about addressing concerns regarding the growing influence of online platforms in things like political discussions, disinformation campaigns, fake news dissemination, and hate speech. So really, it's aiming to foster or create a safer digital space where the DMA is aiming to promote competition. And so the DSA creates a system of tiered obligations for internet intermediaries. And that includes onerous new obligations for designated very large online platforms, or VLOPs for short, and very large online search engines. And then it's kind of in a similar vein, the DMA imposes wide-ranging new rules on what it calls gatekeepers. So those are online platforms with kind of significant and entrenched market power. And those are quite intrusive and in fact will entail some changes to their business models. And so the Commission has already started to ramp up, as I said. And so there are 19 VLOPs, very large online platforms designated now under the DSA. And the DSA has 6 gatekeepers so far. So 6 of the very large online platforms, and those cover 22 of what it calls core platform services. So you can have one gatekeeper, but they'll have a few of their services designated, for example, Google search and Gmail, etc. And so the DSA has already started to apply to the designated VLOPs. And for those designated under the DMA, there's really a huge compliance push already taking place, and that will continue to ramp up over the coming months when the obligations start to kick in March, which I think we might cover in a bit more detail.